Hello, welcome back. This is Miniature Mike. I'm going to do a quick follow-up video to my large CAS droids and just do some kind of fun squad building with a couple of the guys in there. So let's jump into it. I made a few of them and put them on Bloomilk. I'll definitely put the link to the squads below so you can check them out on your own. I'd say none of these are necessarily super competitive, but I think they're a lot of fun. So first one I put together was, where are those droidekas? And with this, I really wanted to try to figure out the best way to get the most out of droidekas, just because they can be a little, they're a little fragile when it comes to the HP. But I think we have some fun stuff going on here. So what I have happening in this case is I decided to go with General Grievous Droid Army Commander and 2 Destroyer Droids, and then the Battle Droid Officer. So what this is going to do is it's going to make the Destroyer Droid, it's going to make it have 24 defense in cover, which I'll count on putting these guys in cover, which will make it a lot harder to hit them. So Shield 2 won't necessarily have to come into play all the time, but it'll be there in case I get hit. And then it'll have 16 attacks, so I'll be able to hit everything, twin attack, be able to roll into place, set up, and then do some damage and stuff, but definitely don't want to get too close to the enemy. And I thought about doing Sand Hill just so I could get some tempo control, and it might still be good at the end of the day, but I decided to use the lab droid, the A4 series lab droid, and then I did an R7 Astro droid so I can do some door control. The reason I went this route is I'm kind of banking on having really high defense, shields working, and then having these guys basically roll out, set up in somewhere. If I win initiative, great, but set up somewhere, and then basically be able to do some really powerful shooting, get that off, and then survive the round if I need to, and then be able to potentially, if I need repairs, roll back real quick, since they got so much speed, roll back, get repaired, and then they can go back and deploy again. So I thought that would be kind of fun. We'll see how it goes in practice, though. I just want to figure out a good way to maximize the Destroyer Droid, and I figured this would give him freedom, because with Worm Loathsome to give twin attack. The problem is I'm not getting the +4 defense, which I think they really need. And then I don't have the mobility anymore because I'm kind of tied to mouse droids. So I figured this would be kind of the best way to keep their speed, keep their independence, and kind of boost some of those things where they're lacking. So pretty quick, easy, fast squad. And that's what we're looking at there. So the next squad I want to show is Crab Rush. And this is kind of a really fun squad that I think is kind of interesting. So the main thing we have going on in this case is we have 4 crab droids, and crab droids on their own have great stats, really nice stats going on there, like we saw in the video. And I really want to maximize their ability to be able to rush enemies, but I didn't want to use General Grievous Droid Army Commander just so I could be different a little bit, of course, and also so that I could fit more into the squad. So the key here is having 4 of these guys. Of course, using the Battle Droid Officer and Loathsome so that when they run and do momentum, they'll be able to do 2 attacks, 16 attack, and then 30 damage per attack. And the reason I didn't need Droid Army Commander is they already got momentum, that's already +4 attack, so I don't need to have 20 attacks, just unnecessary. So in this case, I think we're in good shape. So we have a lot of droids we can do it with. Sand Hill, and I did Sand Hill with a bunch of mouse droids. So mouse droids, so I can spread Loathsome's commander effect. And then also the mouse droid so that I can suck up activation. So at the beginning of the round, I can maybe activate a mouse droid here, and basically kind of get through like some of the commanders I don't care about. So by the end of the round, the opponent's activated everybody, and I still have all the crab droids and some mouse droids left to activate. So I thought that'd be a really interesting way so that I could have just kind of this overwhelming, just kind of rush and attack of crab droids towards the end of each round because of all the tempo control and kind of like the large squad numerically with doing 1 activation per round, especially up until you get to that last one. So anyway, I thought this was a kind of fun one. I hope you guys enjoy it. I definitely think it'd be an interesting one to try out and see how it goes. And then crab droids, they got enough juice to stay alive for a bit. They're doing pretty good in that department. So, all right, last squad let's do real quick and then get out of here is the Grievous Ambush. The whole point of this squad is to show off why the LR57 works really good with Grievous Scourge of the Jedi. So Scourge of the Jedi, droids basically within 6 squares they get 4 attack and they gain extra attack. So because of that, I'm going to need to make a correction here. yeah, I'm going to make a correction here. So because of that, I'm going to say edit squad. I forgot that he was 6 squares. So I'm going to get rid of the Eggnot Demolitionist, and I'm going to replace it with a mouse droid. Yep, that's better. Okay. So I'm actually just leave it right here. Now let's go back. Grievous Ambush. So yeah, that's a much better. So General Grievous, so he gives 4 attack and extra attack. Now that's going to work great because this guy already has twin and double, so now it becomes triple, basically in twin attack, and then ambush, of course. And the reason I wanted to kind of show this off is because this guy is kind of the one that awkwardly doesn't work with Droid Army Commander, but works much better with Scourge of the Jedi. So I decided to pair it there. I thought about using 2 of them, but then there's a lot of things that didn't work out. So I use one. I use a bodyguard droid, just because bodyguard droids, they're actually pretty decent droid options for bodyguard. And in this case, it gets +4 attack. It gets, let's see what else does it get. It gets +4 attack. It's plus the extra attack, you know, in case it's necessary. And it can help with sort of the fragility that these two have. But then what I wanted to do is I put in Sand Hill for tempo control, Battle Droid Officer for the extra attack on this, because the combat droid doesn't have a lot, so now it'll have 14. And then Mouse Droid to help with that commander effect range. But then I also threw in Lobot, and the reason why I put him in here is because he's basically the only option that the Separatists get for being able to use recon sometimes. So I thought it'd be helpful to have him for door control, him for potential recon sometimes, so that I can win initiative and use ambush on someone who hasn't activated yet. And then also, the cool thing is both guys, Sandhill and Lobot, both have reinforcements. So because they both have reinforcements, there's different options I can kind of pursue in here. For example, like preferred reserves. I thought with Lobot, I really wanted to do droid reserves. A Treadwell droid was interesting if I wanted to minimize enemy defense. I figured that's not all that important. But I thought a guard droid, the guard droids aren't that great. They really aren't. But this is a situation where they actually could be useful, is because they already have twin. Got fair statistics, but in this case they can have twin +8 attack, and then they get the extra attack, so they can be a lot more useful, be a lot more helpful support. And then the other preferred reserves from Sand Hill would probably be the lab droid for repairs later in the game if I'm able to get lucky enough and get it, and then just throw like a battle droid or another mouse droid in there just for fun. So I think this yep, I think this is kind of the best one to do here. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed these squads. Let me know what you think down in the comments. Please like, please subscribe as always. And until next time, have a good one.